Happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. And I wanted to talk today, this Friday afternoon, um, with men that are considered father husbands. And gents, if you are currently married or partnership with a woman that you find that you spend most of your time fathering, reprimanding, making sure any major decisions that are needing to be made, you make them. Um, and you're just finding yourself to be very hands on with the inner workings of your family dynamic and home and all of that. This video is for you. So welcome. I'm your coach, Carla Nicole. You can reach me personally if you would like to get a session with me at 844-5-WISDOM extension 0. You can call me and set up an appointment. I know it's difficult while you're a father or you're a man in a relationship with a woman that isn't really mature. So here I'm wanting to give you some understanding, okay? I know it's not easy, but this is what's going on, all right? So I just want to give you a little heads up so that you understand why I've been so headstrong about bringing awareness to gentlemen that are in relationships with women that don't really have a high maturity. Um, because 9 times out of 10, you would think that after a while, a woman would grow up. She would start to get it. She would start to understand certain things. And a lot of times, that's not the case. And as you are in this relationship for years and years, you end up having a life together and building everything, and you're still finding that you are more frustrated because you still have to pretty much oversee everything. You have to make all major decisions. You have to be more in a fatherly role with this woman, and you're trying to figure out, why am I constantly having to father her constantly? I feel like I can't get anywhere. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not by accident. Gentlemen, 9 times out of 10, if you are in a relationship like this and you are a father husband, this is why. If you can recall, 9 times out of 10, you married a woman or got with a woman very young, right? She was young and you were young. And most of the time, when we're young, we choose from a different kind of lens. But if you can recall, she probably left her mother and father's home and you two built a home. So she never was taking care of herself, ever. So if you can remember, a lot of times, gentlemen, you ended up taking her on and taking care of everything and her. Okay? And I get it. I just want you to understand I'm very sympathetic to how you're dealing with this. But I'm also trying to help you understand why you're in this condition, not to get too hard on yourself, not to feel overwhelmed with frustration, but understand your frustration is real. And it's real because she just never grew up. She doesn't know about what it takes to be a wife for real. And so you have a daughter wife, is what I explain it to you. Great example of what a daughter wife looks like. 9 times out of 10, she doesn't make major decisions. You're constantly having to make sure she's doing what she's doing, and you're really frustrated about, I just want you to grow up. I want you to get into the understanding of what it takes to be a wife. But a lot of times they don't know what that means. Okay? So unfortunately, you're in a bind. Okay? You're in a bind. So here's what I want you to understand. And I don't know if you've already had children with your woman and your lady already, or hey, what I'm talking about is daughter wives. If you have a relationship with a woman that's very immature and you are finding yourself to be a father in a father role more with your lover and your woman than you are just in an equal relationship where you guys can mature, talk amongst each other about major decisions and stuff. If you have a woman that is not really mature, that's what I'm talking about today. Okay. So outside of that, I want to talk about why a lot of times these daughter wives seem to give you the most difficulty when it comes to disciplining your children, when it comes to reprimanding the kids and getting them in alignment and teaching them right from wrong. You'll normally find yourself in a bind with her because she's like just anti rules, anti structure, anti, reprimand. And the reason is because she is very immature in understanding what it takes to be a parent. So a daughter wife, my love, is going to find herself to want to be more friendly with the children, more in favor with the kids, and you're going to find yourself really frustrated when you are trying to set rules, trying to explain what is right from wrong, and she's constantly telling the kids, well, daddy's mean, or I know you got in trouble, but if you come with mommy, we can go do this and we can go do that. The reason why you end up finding yourself really frustrated by the fact that she does not truly understand the importance of truly getting disciplined, teaching right from wrong. She doesn't understand that because if you can realize, step back for a minute before you start getting upset and argumentative with your daughter wife, you'll sit there and actually realize, you know what? I have to fuss and tell you what to do. I have to tell you right from wrong. I have to make all the major decisions. The decisions that's being held down in the home and how we function here isn't made by you. It's made by me. So because of that, you have to sit back and look and say, oh, there's a lack of understanding what it takes to be a parent when you're talking about a woman that really understands only having fun and enjoying children. She doesn't understand the importance of discipline and rules. So because of that, she lacks in understanding that. And so when you're finding yourself frustrated with trying to, teach right from wrong, she's not understanding it or being supportive of that. That's why. Men, daughter wives will, if you're not careful, she will find herself turning the children against you because she doesn't care too much for the rules either. So if you have a wife that doesn't understand the importance of fathering, doesn't understand the importance of parenting, doesn't have a clue what it takes to reprimand and structure and say no and mean it with a period, then you're going to have yourself really a lot on your hands. Here's what's true. When we are in relationships, we find ourselves in structures that maybe we don't realize are that until we get into them for a while, and then we're like, oh no, she doesn't really understand the power that it takes for us to truly stay structured in allowing children to grow. Children grow, yes, but they also require for there to be some type of rule setting. There also requires for them to be honest with each other and understanding that a parent requires for there to be understanding. Here's what's true. When you're first in a love affair with someone, if you can recall in the beginning, we never really talk about, before we end up having children, we never really talk about how we are in alliance. So I want to give you a clue right now for you to think about and even encourage you to talk about now if you don't have children. If you already have children, it's fine. You can even talk about it now. How to establish an alliance with each other. You and your lover, your wife, your life partner, however you're structured, you are going to be together well after the children are gone and leave the home. So I would strongly suggest that you sit down with each other and decide one-on-one how we're going to discipline the children. This isn't often talked about. And unfortunately, because it's not talked about, it's kind of just by happenstance. One parent is doing most of the rules and being the one that's doing all of the checking in on if they're being followed or not. But the truth of the matter is, both of you should be. Both of you should be. And both of you should also really, before children, sit down and be in agreement with, no matter what happens, the you and I are going to make sure that we are in agreement, and we should never disagree with the discipline in front of the children, because when we do this, what we do is cause children to figure out who their ally is. And once we have that to where that's blurry to a child, what happens is the child starts to play in the parents. And now you two are fighting in front of each other when the children should be being reprimanded. You two are fighting amongst each other because neither one of you can be in agreement with getting this handled, whatever it is. Make sure ahead of time you and your lover sit down and talk about what it is you two are going to do and structure it now, how you want to set the tone with discipline. Because what's happening in my coaching practice, I'm seeing a lot of, is men, you guys, the ones that set up usually you're the ones that have the deeper voice, a little more stern, have no problem with saying no. You have the biggest issue and problem coming to me telling me that, man, I'll try to set the tone and set the rules, and my wife will go behind my back and change it up, or tell the kids I'm mean, or mean daddy and all this other stuff. So now I'm looked at as the bad guy. I don't know what to do, and now the kids aren't really respecting me. They're kind of not in favor of me. So I'm looked at as the parent that really isn't having a true closeness with my kids. I want to have a closeness with my kids, but I have to be the one to set the tone and the understanding that there's rules here. And I get it. So I'm trying to help you guys out. If that's your scenario and that's your case, make sure you sit down with your daughter wife, or even if you have a good wife, just sit down with her and say, look, before the kids get here, or since the kids are here, let's set the tone now on how we are going to be in alliance when things go awry, when the children are off, when the schoolwork isn't getting done, when their rooms aren't being cleaned, when they're not following the rules. Let's be in alliance now, with being in agreement that when one says something, we both are going to be in agreement regardless. In front of the children, there is no one parent over the other. If that parent says that's what's going on and I'm here or not, that is what's going on, hands down. Now, there is no back and forth. There is no favoritism. There is just clearly an understanding of what the rules are. Here's why I'm stressing this so important. Because a lot of times, if you aren't clear, later on, the blurriness gets worse. The dysfunction happens. And then reprimand is shrugged off or considered mean. And now you're in a bind because the child cannot any longer find themselves in a good standing with you. I say all the time as a parent, we're parents. We're not here to be BFFs with our children. That's not how this works. And if your daughter wife doesn't understand that, you need to sit her down and have her understand that that's not okay. You can't be BFFs with your children. That doesn't work. When your children are your children, you have to have a certain regard. You have to have a certain respect. Your child has to look up to you and understand that you make the rules. If that gets blurry, guess what happens? The child starts to get unruly, and then nothing is working. So, with that said, be very clear. When you are together or separated, in front of your children, that they understand you two are in alliance, regardless of what's going on. Once the rules are made, the rules are made. The reason I'm saying that this is important to get done now is because, gentlemen, when you have a daughter wife, it gets real blurry with understanding how do we handle this. Because children are little manipulators. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how to work one parent over the other. Trust me, they do. So, make sure you have it established that you and she are partners. You're a team. You're not enemies. You're not working against each other, because that never works to your advantage. It actually works against you. So I'm trying to help you out. Make sure to share this. Make sure to share this video. There's a lot of gentlemen that don't understand how they even got in this position. So I'm trying to help you guys understand that, unfortunately, sometimes when we choose young, we don't choose as favorably as we like. So now that you are in this marriage or in this partnership, and your wife is young and she's probably not going to mature, just understand you want to get it established now that you are in alliance, and that you and she are going to set the tone as far as what you want, as far as discipline, how you want it to be handled, how you want the rules to be set and regulated. Okay? I'm your coach, Carla Nicole. Now, you can, like I said, you can call me at 844-5-WISDOM and make your own session so that you can understand how you even got in this situation, and I can give you some more one-on-one important information outside of what I just gave here. Or you can also want to go live with me on a call right just like this, and by calling 844-594-7366 and text Coach Me 29. It's just $29. We'll do a coaching session right here on YouTube for just $29, and it'll be for 30 minutes, and we'll talk about whatever situation you got going on that you want me to help you through. It's no problem. That's what I'm here for. I don't mind helping, and I am just a call away. I have 4 slots available, so when you're ready to set that up, please don't hesitate to either call or text. Texting will get you an immediate response, and you'll actually be able to get that appointment pretty quickly. So just let me know. Again, make sure to share this video. I appreciate everybody that's come. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. It's your coach, Carla Nicole. I'm signing off, guys. Best kept.